Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Out riding again today. It's a Wednesday morning. Still enjoying this warm spell of weather. Though we did have a bit of rain over the last 24 hours, but nothing too dreadful. So today I'm heading for Grizedale Forest. I'm going to go and have a look at some sculptures that live in the forest. So thanks once again to everybody who's watched my recent videos. If you like what I'm doing, do subscribe, because that'll encourage me. Not that I need any encouragement. So I'm out today on Mr. Suzuki, my GSX 600F. And there are two reasons for this. One, I wanted to. That's a good enough reason. And two, the magnificent beast, my Yamaha XVS 650, has had to go to hospital. I set off on Monday to go out for a whole day's riding. Had all my camera gear packed up, I was ready to go. Stopped off at the local supermarket on the way, realised I hadn't got my wallet and had to head back home. On the way home, about 200 yards before my house, I realised I had a flat back tyre. I'd run over a screw somewhere between the supermarket and home and had to call out the RAC. RAC turned up yesterday, plugged the tyre, and then we realised that there was also a problem with the tyre valve. So the RAC guy had to call for a truck, and the bike has gone to Bike Hospital. My good friends Norman and Dave out at Sapphire Motorcycles in Staveley. I'm expecting a phone call from them at some point today telling me to come and get me bike, which I will, maybe tomorrow. So, as I say, out on Mr. Suzuki today, because I want to and because I don't have a choice. First world problems, I know. We'll have a little sneak through here, because we can. So the weather forecast today is reasonable up until about 3 o'clock, at which point it would seem there's a distinct possibility of showers. So I'll most likely be home by then, sat with my feet up and a can of beer, doing some editing. The editing for video number 16. the sun's coming out. Here we are crossing Dudden Bridge and then heading up the hill towards Broughton-in-Furness. Well, here we are just outside of Coniston. Well, not quite just outside, it's about 5 miles that way. You'll notice I'm wearing some new kit today. I actually bought this last year for our European trip, but then it turned out the weather wasn't going to be as hot as I thought. So it had been sat in the cupboard for almost 12 months now. I put it back on this morning, I'd almost forgotten about it. I've been struggling with the heat a little bit of late. I've been struggling with the heat a little bit of late in this warm spell. I hate overheating on the bike, so I thought I'd give this a go. So I said to the Murgatroyd this morning, just before she left to go to work, I said, Murgatroyd, do I look like a superhero? And she goes, no. In fact, actually, you look a bit of a tit. Thanks, Murgatroyd. Alrighty, off we go again. Heading now for Coniston on one of my favourite roads. So yeah, thanks Murgatroyd, it's a good job I don't struggle with self-confidence and self-esteem. So apparently, in the eyes of the Murgatroyd, thank you, I look a bit of a tit. Do you know what? Don't really care. I've got 3 layers under this armour thing. I'm getting plenty of breeze on my arms. It feels quite lovely. Big bump in the road. Ooh! I felt that one. So yeah, nice to be out on Mr. Suzuki again. And enjoying that instant responsiveness that you simply don't get on the XVS 650. So I've been thinking quite a lot about the forthcoming European trip, which begins in the middle of July. I think around about the 17th. I think we're booked onto the Eurotunnel thing at I think on July the 18th. So we'll probably leave Cumbria a couple of days before that. Have a bit of an explore on the way down. And I've been thinking about the fact that I need to get the magnificent beast ready for that trip. So we're talking full service, new brake shoes on the front, not on the rear. I hardly ever use the rear brake on that, and valve clearances, all of these things. And essentially over the next month or so I'm just going to do everything that needs to be done to the XVS 650 to make it ready for what's probably going to turn out to be a 3,000 mile round trip. We're going to be going out for practice runs with the camping gear. We're going to be sitting down in the evenings when we're not out doing something, working out a general itinerary. But the only commitment we have with that month-long trip is to be in the Verdon Gorge for the 3 days surrounding my birthday, so 10th, 11th and 12th of August. We've already booked the campsite in the Verdon Gorge, and I'm thinking that on my birthday, being 61 years of age, I'm going to employ a climbing guide to take me climbing on the Verdon Gorge, where we're looking at 2,000 feet of sun-baked limestone. It's always been on my hit list of places to go climbing. Never actually made it, so maybe this year. But one of the great things about growing old, and I'm actually having a really great time growing old, is that you come to understand that most of the stuff you've spent your life struggling with or struggling against doesn't actually matter. I mean, ultimately none of it really matters, because we're all going to be dead and we won't even know that we're dead. So, you know, for me, after 4 or 5 decades of struggling against the world and trying to make it through, I'm actually in a pretty comfortable situation. I'm only going to be working, selling my labour power to the highest bidder when I need to, and I'm just going to get lots of filming done and have some really great times with the Murgatroyd. I absolutely love this road. This, I think, I'll put a map reference on or something, is the A593 Broughton Furness to Ambleside Road. Very nice ride to road, very nice road to ride. That might come out in the editing process, or it might not. It might not. I like that stream of consciousness thing. I fucking love this motorcycle. As I was saying in a previous video with the XVS, it's kind of like you've got to fold it into the bends. It's willing enough, but you have to fold it. With this, it's just a little flick. Not even a little flick, a little angling of the head and shoulders, and away you go, blazing through the bends. I was talking with the Murgatroyd the other evening and kind of debriefing from my day's ride. This was the one where I went out to Keswick and then Wasdale. Incidentally, I'm going back to the bike meet in Wasdale tomorrow, amongst other things. And I was talking about how over the last couple of years, because I've been riding so much and so regularly, I mean, there was only a period of about 3 or 4 weeks through the winter when I just didn't want to ride because it was wet and cold and icy and I had access to a car. But other than that, it's pretty much an everyday thing. I'm averaging about 11 or 1200 miles a month, and so over the last 2 years I've just reached this new level of confidence and power. I know what I can do, I know what my bikes can do, and I don't really have the ability to put into words how every moment of riding makes me feel. But I really am beginning to achieve some degree of mastery over the art of motorcycling, and make no mistake, comrades, it's an art. I'm actually quite surprised that I haven't seen another motorcyclist yet today. Not even one. I'm sure that will change. So the little bit of road coming up is known locally to the boy racers as the Torva Straight. Personally, I think it's too short to be anything like that. But here it comes. And then it gets spoiled by a 40 sign as we go through the little village of Torva. And on the left we have the Wilson's Arms. Just do a little glance to the left. There we go. Now, a very good friend of mine is the head chef there. He's currently the head chef because I didn't want to be anymore. Lovely pub. Terrible management. And that's why I don't do full-time chef work anymore. That's why I went completely freelance. Because, you know, as a thoroughgoing anarchist, I've got a problem with authority. Especially when the only justification that authority has is the simple economic fact that it's got more money than you have. Fuck that shit. Let's have a revolution. Oh my me. We are the mighty Grizedale. Yes, we are. Ooh, no warning of that one. That guy's standing there thinking, I wish I had a motorbike. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he was thinking, there goes another dick on a motorbike. And here we are, arriving in Coniston again. So, right turn in the centre of Coniston, heading for Hawkshead. I might go and have a look at the lake. Yeah, I'll go and have a look at the lake. You alright? This is one of the places that we like to launch our boats from. Very scenic. So there we are, Coniston Water, the old man of Coniston. You can just see the summit cairn. That's a trig point actually, not a cairn. And then beyond it, Dow Crag. Beautiful place. You look a bit of a tit.